Hey, welcome to Bears Banner tonight. Hey, how everybody's doing tonight?
Good. How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube and Facebook for tuning in tonight to the Bears Banner pregame show. Man, hey, we came off Sunday loss. I know. I mean, if y'all was like me, man, I was angry. I mean, what's
well, Bernard, I called you right away because I had a lot of emotions going on at that time, so I had to let all that out right quick.
okay?
Yeah.
Hey, what about you, Quick man? You was upset, man, or?
I wasn't really upset because I've been saying, man, like you hold your starters out, the team not gonna gel. So we still playing preseason right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think about it, the offense only plays 7 plays for the whole preseason.
But no.
I was gonna be like,
Hey, over there sound like he about to get whooped.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hang on.
Oh, all right. Hey, so what was one of the toughest things that you saw in this game, Tim?
because Nicole and Bernard was at the thing last night.
Right now, for me, what I don't understand is with the weapons that they have, why don't they let Field, throw deep? I don't understand why they won't take the top off the defense or even try. It doesn't make any sense with all the bubble screens, sideline passes, man. I don't understand because how can you accurately evaluate him without giving him a real opportunity, man, to show you what kind of arm he has and what kind of accuracy he has when he throws the ball deep? I have no idea what they're doing. The other thing I would say that bothered me equally was how bad the interior offensive line was. I mean, he was getting pressure up the gut pretty much the entire game. That also affected the running game. So I just was really disappointed, man. All this hype around all these adjustments and things that they have done to, make the offense better. And I didn't see it. I already knew the defensive line wasn't going to be much, so I wasn't expecting anything. But the offensive line to be as bad as it looked, that was very disappointing. And the offensive play calling.
Hey Jay, what was your biggest disappointment after last week? I know you was at the game, so you didn't get a chance to sit here.
My biggest disappointment was that the 2023 Bears looked like the 2022 Bears. Even with all that, even with all the offensive weapons that they added, the upgrade in the interior line. What's his name? The guard. He's blanking me. Nate Davis. Nate Davis. He gave up 9 quarterback pressures. And I kind of blame it partly on Eberflus because no practice during the preseason and even during training camp, these guys were sitting out and they look unprepared to play the game, and that was my biggest takeaway. And also, I said last week that everybody's talking about Fields. Y'all got to remember too, the Bears led the league in rushing last year. Khalil Herbert had 9 carries the entire game. This dude averaged 5.7 yards a carry last year with a bad offensive line. So, he had 9 carries for the entire game. So the offensive game planning was very bad. The defensive line, they looked like they didn't know where they were supposed to line up, where they were supposed to go, what gap they were supposed to shoot. It was just pretty pathetic. And it was so energetic at Soldier Field. And I told my coworker, I was like, I'm guilty of it. Just like a lot of people, we drank the Hallis Hall hooch. And at this point right now, I cannot pick the Bears to win a game until they show me that they can actually win.
Sure you can. No, hey,
you can.
How you doing? How y'all doing, man?
Hey,
what's going on? What's up? What's up,
guy? What was your biggest disappointment, man? I saw a few posts this week from you. I mean, what was your biggest disappointment from this game?
Well, I just posted that because I felt like people missed me. but the truth of the matter, I do it because a lot of times I haven't been a chance to get on because I'm busy. But here's my deal. I went in and I did the Jay Cutler angle. And the reason why is you remember, Bernard, a lot of people were sitting up at us because you had kind of agreed with me for a minute. You was kind of off the Jay Cutler chain, but you start seeing what he was doing. He was like, okay, I see where he's going. Mike Martz, man, was like kind of doing a little dink and dunk, and Jay was like, F you, I'm throwing it. And he was getting some passes, getting some completions. What Justin Fields has to do is Justin Fields is shell-shocked right now. He's shell-shocked in the respect that I'm actually watching him drop back, and instead of making reads, he's going straight for the hot. And if he jumps back, and he's also in a situation where he's dropping back and got all these people in his ear telling him, stay in the pocket. I'm looking at the center, or I'm looking at the right guard. They're right here. He's about this close to these guys. I'm like, okay, you getting killed. Just drop back. If you're in a shotgun, drop back. First of all, DJ Moore is a 50-50 dude. You throw it up, he's going to get it half the time. You look at a lot of quarterbacks around the league. I mean, they're no different from you, but the difference being is they're not gun shy and they're willing to throw the ball. You throw the ball with this whole guessy 5-7 yard stuff, and then he threw one where he had two guys on the right-hand side just in the same spot. So you got one defender that can basically defend two guys. That's the only problem I got. I mean, it's a domino effect. It's like the offensive line was kind of porous, and I know Jay had posted something to the effect that was 1,000,000,000% true. You know, during the preseason, all that stuff, a lot of them guys were like plug and play. They didn't play as a unit. So it's like there's no cohesion, you know. So you got that situation, and people kind of think that you get like 5 guys on the offensive line, and because they studs, they automatically gonna do it. But there's just so many different nuances that you have to have, and you have to have your guy next to you in preseason to get them snaps, man. But I'm telling you, man, I got a feeling they're gonna be okay. But you know, you can't run an organization like that, just having guys in and out and just doing their thing or whatever.
What you got, Jay?
And you know, I also want to say at the game, you know, as we watching the game progress, we were actually like, okay, Justin taking the check down. He taking the check down. But then when I came home and watched it, I was like, wait a minute. You taking the check down, and this dude is DJ Moore was open. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Why you just didn't throw him the damn ball?
Yep, you see that lower high. You see the corner on top, on the bottom, and the safety on the back, and he took right over. All he do is just throw it right over the cornerback, and he had a gain. He had like 12, 15-yard gain. Because
you know, at the game, we like, okay, at least he taking the check down. This is something he didn't do last year. You know, we watching it live, but then when I came home and watched it, I'm like, oh my God, dude, pull the trigger. And I think that's the thing with him. He's got to not be afraid to pull the trigger. You know, this ain't Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and all these guys that you had at Ohio State where you throwing it to them because they open. These guys know how to go after the ball. DJ Moore knows how to go after the ball. So you just got to put it up there, man.
You got a gunslinger mentality.
We got to be patient. Hey, Mike, you just mentioned earlier about how this is like preseason for them. I mean, what they need to do this week? I mean, our opponent is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who scored 20 points, and I believe they beat the Vikings?
Yeah.
They beat the Vikings 20-17. What do we need to do this week, Mike?
We gotta play better defense too, and try to get some turnovers, make it a short field for the offense, and because that's what they did in the preseason. That first preseason game, those points that we scored with the first team was off of turnovers, and so we got to make them turn the ball over. I think who is that? Gordon is out this week, so we got to get somebody in there to play his position.
His backup pulled a hamstring yesterday. So I'm not to cut you off, Mike, but I'm like Gordon on IR, so he's gonna miss at least the next 4 games. Yeah. And Blackwell tweaked his hamstring yesterday, so they called up the kid Stroman off the practice squad. So that's something within itself. But you know, the thing about Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay was last in rushing last year. So what you need to do, stop the run and make Baker Mayfield beat you. Which is a task, because now you're still dealing with Chris Godwin, you're dealing with Mike Evans, you're dealing with some professional wide receivers on the Tampa Bay team, but you got to make Baker Mayfield beat you, because you cannot let them run the football. Like I said, they was dead last in rushing last year.
Did you see the numbers that Baker made?
I got a question for Jay though off that. I got a question for Jay. How are you going to make if you're going to stop the run and make them pass, you're going to need a pass rush, but the Bears don't have one. So what do you propose at that point?
Everybody got to bring their A game. That's it. Everybody got to bring their A game. To me, this is a must win. I hate to say must win in week 2, but this is a must win game. This is a must win game for the Bears. So everybody, that lethargic stuff that I watched last week, which was actually pathetic. Okay, y'all. That was y'all practice. From here on out, that's it. You've got to put pressure on him. Yeah. Tampa Bay's offensive line, it ain't top 10, but it's pretty good. So you got to bring your A game. The Bears have got to bring their A game. And Eberflus is calling the plays, which is that's something we ain't talking about today.
Hey, let's get on that. Let's get on that. So for those who are not aware, the Bears announced today that Alan Williams, who's the defensive coordinator, will not be present. I can use that. He will not be present for the game on Sunday for personal reasons. So I don't know. They use personal reasons a lot in this administration, so I'm not sure if they gave any details, but they kind of like secretive. I mean, what effect is gonna have on that? Flus get to call a game. It's not nothing new for him. It's new for him as a Bears coach to call a game, but would that make a difference?
If he does a shock and awe thing, and what I mean by that, Flus is like the nice guy. He's like the cordial. It's like, okay, guys, we're gonna do such and such. If somebody screw up and he walk in and say, come out, you out the game, it's going to change everything. I'm telling you, because he's a nice guy, and don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of times you got to get kicked in your butt, man. With what I'm seeing right now, I think with the defense, what happens is what you have, if it doesn't work, guys need on the line, if you can't get no rush, not as a tackle or guard or whatever, you got to be cognizant of, hey, if I need to take my block and kind of sort of shed and try to knock another guy off so another dude can eat, sometimes you got to come start thinking outside the box, man, because y'all rushing guys up in the hole. And when I was watching Green Bay, as I said before, it's no disrespect to Green Bay because they beat us, but they wasn't that great. It's just we had no pass rush. And I'm looking at Jordan Love. Jordan Love ordering like Harold's, like a half dark with mild sauce, change it to like gizzard dinners. And then like, you know what? I really want perch. Oh, before I do this, let me throw the ball. If you don't have that pressure, yeah, you're going to look like world beaters. But what happens, like, and I'm going to tell y'all, when y'all watch Green Bay and they play a really good team, let's see what their offensive line does. And if Jordan Love is getting put on his back, that's going to kind of amplify what happened to us, like exponentially, how far we had to go. But
I don't know if this means anything or it could mean something. But I know at the last show, I was actually saying the Bears somebody's going to have to lose their job. And I had to make the comment that, hey, for Flus to be a defensive coordinator, he may have to take back over play calling. Yeah. So, cause what I did not like, what I didn't see in this game, and and I'm trying not to panic because it's only one game.
Right.
But I saw this last year. You cannot just line up and just run the defense that you call in the huddle. You got to at least show pressure. If you're not getting pressure, at a minimum, show pressure. Put some people in the look like you're gonna blitz the A gap. Bring that corner in or something to make it look like. Or if you can't stop the run, I mean, you just got to bring that fifth guy in the box. I mean, you may not want to. You just got to do something, but you just can't stand back there and just let it.
That's part of the issue too, because when people think that when you blitz, you're blitzing to stop the pass. There's a thing called run blitz.
Run blitz. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And so what happened? The Bears were playing conservative football, and so when you know that you're weak up front, you have to send pressure.
Yep.
Pressure is not always a pass blitz. Yeah. You run blitz, right? And so what happens in a run blitz, you take up all the available gaps and you send that pressure. Okay, now we run blitz. all right, now they pass the ball. We know where we're supposed to be at in coverage. And then that pressure, you don't have a guy that's just sitting back there, smoking cigarettes and eating Dunkin' Donuts. You got to put pressure on other people. You got enough. The problem had been so bad in the back seven for so long, and you've actually upgraded your back seven, but now you got to put guys in position because you have guys that can cover one-on-one. So you got to send that pressure, and when you send that pressure, that's what's going to happen. Turnovers are going to happen. Short fields, like what I said, what we got to do this week, those are the things that are going to happen because a guy can only be comfortable when you make him comfortable. That's what they did to Justin. They sent pressure,
Right.
and that's what we have to do.
And see, the thing about last week, why I was so disappointed was no Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs is a second-year player. We playing against pretty much rookies, second and third string wide receivers. Jalen Johnson, you want to get paid? Mm-hmm. The Bears should have been in man press, sending the blitz because they couldn't get to the kid to Justin Jordan Love with the front four. So now you need to make halftime adjustments, which is what we always talked about on the show, even with Nagy. Make halftime adjustments. You got to send pressure. Put these guys on an island. Look, we going man from here on out. It ain't nothing else to be discussed. Mm-hmm. But if you better than this man, then y'all going one-on-one, and we gonna see how this work out. And that's what hurt last week. We was getting beat by second and third string wide receivers. That was so frustrating. When you got a guy like Jalen Johnson who wants to get paid like a top 5 wide receiver, a top 5 cornerback, and where's the man press at? They should have been in man press the entire second half.
Yeah,
here's another thing that I observed. I observed the fact that these defensive linemen that we employ, they have no idea of what disengaging means. They just sit there and wrestle and push and pull with offensive linemen. How are you getting any pressure that way? You're just going to bull rush somebody right back into the quarterback? That's the only thing I saw them do. I mean, Ngakoue actually, Jordan Love walked into a sack. I didn't even see him.
He sure did.
I didn't even see him really get like serious pressure. Yeah, so to me, they need to work on technique, man. Their technique is the worst I've ever seen. I've seen high school defensive linemen disengage better from blocks than the Bears defensive line. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Mo, we talking about try to get Mo to chirp in.
What up, Mo?
What's going on? Hey, we talking about defensively, what the Bears did to do defensively to beat the Bucs. What you got?
I mean, I look at it like you need to take a page out of the old Steelers book. When they didn't have a defensive end pass rusher, what they did was blitz the linebackers, like y'all been saying. You had James Harrison. He coming right out the gate. It don't matter. Your focus is to just hit the quarterback, and another linebacker's focus is to blitz the running back. So that way, you needed Jordan Love to show me how you handle pressure. What they didn't do was they didn't show the pressure. They kept the 4-man fronts, and that didn't work. They didn't call any stunts. They didn't call. It was just like
that's what I was going to say, Mo.
Bull rush. They tried the bull rush the whole time, and it's like, obviously y'all not getting through. So why
they play the
same thing?
They play cover 2 almost the entire game, and I'm like,
that's what I was saying last time.
You don't play cover 2 against inexperienced wide receivers and a rookie quarterback. You just don't do that.
Hey, Jay, you what I said the last game? I was like, Jordan Love was looking at he was looking at it too high, man. Like, oh, you right there? Look, I'm looking right at you. I'm gonna throw right to you, and it was getting completions. But
it was pathetic. It was pathetic.
Let me ask you a question, Jay. Since you were a DB, I mean, I know, of course, the objective is to sack quarterback and kind of keep stuff. But as a defense, wouldn't you say that your objective is to kind of scare the hell out of, like, the offensive line, like perfect case in point, the Super Bowl, what Tampa Bay did to Kansas City? Because I remember Kansas City's, man, when Tampa Bay was playing Kansas City and they had that cover 2 soft safety shell, they were sitting out there on the line like this. like they didn't know what was going on with our guys. It's like the offensive line is like, come on.
Kansas City couldn't block them.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't block them because and Mo brought it up too. They didn't send any stunts. You gotta if you're weak up front, you gotta stunt out of the cover two. You can still run cover two. There's so much stuff you could do. You can roll cover two one side, play cover three on the other side, blitz the weak side. It's just so much stuff you can do out of a cover two. So cover two is not really the problem, but the way you run cover two, because you got to think about this.
The execution was terrible.
You got Brisker, who is one of your top sack guys from last year. You can send him off the edge. There's so much stuff you can do. But damn, if I gotta send an email to the Bears, they gotta pay me as a consultant.
You know what I noticed too? I was kind of like today, I was going back looking at some of the old Bears defenses, like even back when Peanut was there. I was seeing them run, like I said last week. They were showing a cover one dropping into 3. They were showing a 0 dropping into 2-3. It was like they disguised. There were so many different stunts, so many nuances. You had the nickel basically doing that. He'll drop back in zone one time. Next time he's on the edge blitzing. And they kept the offensive line. They told us that the offensive line, though, like I said last week, it's like that old football game you had that you plug in and it just kind of shakes. That's what the defensive lineman was just doing is, let me spin around. Let me spin around. It was no pressure, man.
I still say the base cover two defense works the best.
Yep.
When your front four gets pressure. If you can just run the cover two and your front four get pressure, oh baby, that's love. That's love, That's all love right there. But when you can't get pressure, you got to disguise it. You got to create some type of chaos. You got to come exotic with some twists, some stunts. You got to do something. But if you can't get pressure with your front four, you got to adjust it. And there was no adjustment made last week. And like I said, Baker Mayfield is a professional quarterback. And if you give him time, he will eat you up. He will eat you up.
But reps for everything.
Thing about Baker would actually he'll have a good second half if you don't do anything. Because I'm thinking about last year, he came in that game when he was playing for the Rams.
Right.
And he just got weak. He sucked all the way through halftime, but in that fourth quarter, he rallied them and won that game.
He just did it last week with the Vikings. Baker Mayfield feeds off of emotion. That's how he plays. Like if you watch the game last week with the Vikings, the man is stiff arming cornerbacks and everything, and it's like Baker Mayfield, but that's what riles him up, and that's what we can't do. We got to put the hat on him. And once you break his confidence, you got Baker Mayfield easy. But if you allow him to just feed off of you and find your weakness, then that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna expose you.
But what happened to reps like in the preseason games where guys were like, "Oh, my arm hurts a little bit," but you being out on the field for about 6 or 7 reps to physically be out with the guys and have that level of cohesion. Now it's guys like, oh, I have a hangnail and I think I can't practice. But then you just expect to come into game one to be lights out, and then you're
Nate
horrible.
Davis. Nate Davis.
We got to look at the
can't even finish the game.
Yeah. You got to look at the NFLPA. You got to look at the NFLPA because they have bartered and they have negotiated with the league to the point where they took one of the preseason games away, right? But they added a regular season game on the back end to appease the owners. But there's so many rules and regulations around preseason practices, OTAs. They don't allow them to hit anymore. And I think
you can only wear pads on certain
I'm not trying to defend Eberflus. I'm not trying to defend him, but I'll say this. I think that he was afraid of somebody getting hurt, which is why he held those guys out the way he did. He was afraid of that, man. And that's why the preseason looked the way it did.
But Tim, guess what? People wasn't practicing and they ended up on the injury report. So that's out the window too.
Right.
That's out the window
too. Hit no matter what. I think you should hit no matter what.
How do you learn? How do you learn to tackle somebody if you don't practice tackling?
If you don't practice.
Well, I had about 5 Moscow mules, and I tripped down a stair, and I sprained my uvula.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the deal.
I told y'all, I watched NFL training camp on NFL Network, and I just watched their practices. You know, and they got guys jogging, taking a handoff. You know, they got guys, you know, 25% running the route, the quarterback throwing the ball. And I'm like, that ain't practice.
It's like a walk off the plane with no pads on. But you know what? I just want to say something real quick. All y'all young guys out here, it's no disrespect that y'all talk about these new school guys that beat the brakes off the old school guys. The reason why the old school guys have beat the brakes off of you, because if you went back 30 years from now during spring training, all them dudes was out of shape. But the starting 11 on both sides of the ball, unless they could not walk in a stretcher, they were out there for every practice and they got the reps. So now guess what? Their job was to look and do what their job was. They didn't have to worry about everybody else because everyone knew where they were supposed to be. You look at these young guys now, I work out all season, I'm all that stuff. But yet you come out here and like as a quarterback, you have a guy do like a 7-yard slant and you throw the ball, he over here somewhere.
Did y'all see the play? Did y'all see the play? Did y'all? I'm sorry, Lo.
To hit on his point. Look at Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott told him to chop his finger off and he gonna get out there again.
But you can't, you know what? Don't even say that. That's a disrespect to royalty. Because that dude was the dog of dogs.
Right.
But did y'all see the play? Did y'all see the play? Did y'all see the play? Did y'all see the play where the guy from the Saints lined up offsides?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what
Did y'all see the play? Did y'all see the play where the guy came in, the substitute came in, and when he came in, he was on the defensive side of the
like, what is that?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm gonna say this.
What are we doing?
I'm gonna say this about the league right now. It's not designed for the old school coach.
It's a business.
It's over with. It's over
business.
With. Because look at how Eric Bieniemy, how they was making big headlines on how he was talking to the guys. What he was doing was trying to boost up their psyche.
Thank you, Mo.
Put a little dog in them.
Thank you.
You're trying to build dogs, but you got a gang of puppies who are afraid.
You want to be treated like a man, but then when your feelings get hurt, instead of taking it like a man, you run to the front office. He was talking about me. Hurt my feelings.
I want to trade.
Tonight
you
on
only
Facebook and YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hey, let's look at this matchup right quick as far as what we have here. Some of this is a little surprising, but I just know the way they do stats. Just why you can't know stats. Believe it or not, unless I got this wrong, the Bears offense is ranked 13.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
I'm talking from one from.
No, I'm just saying
it's right. They're right now. Yeah.
Yeah. We use an average, but they only had one game. They scored 20 points last week. They rushed for 122 yards, and they passed for 189 yards. Let's go to the offense of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay offense ranked 25th right now. They scored 20 points. They rushed for 73 yards, and they passed for 169. So you could kind of see the way they kind of do these rankings. The only reason the Bears is in front of them because if you look at it, they both had the same score last week, but Tampa Bay had less rushing yards and less passing yards. And let's go to the defense right quick, and then we could start chiming on this to kind of figure out who we gonna pick. The Bears defense ranked 22nd at the last week. They gave up 38 points, allowed 92 rushing yards, allowed 237 passing yards. So if you read that, you really wouldn't think that they had 38 points because those are not the stats that say 38 points. But I guess it depends on how efficient your offense was.
It don't hurt that they got a 4th and 1 that they missed right in their territory. That's starting off but you know what? Just let me say something real quick though, B. What I tell people all the time, sometimes numbers are appropriate in certain situations, but you can't read them. I'm gonna give you a perfect case in point. Dak Prescott didn't even have a touchdown or interception and had under 200 yards, and they won by 40.
They scored 40.
Exactly.
Yep.
So last for defense for the Bucs, believe it or not, the Bucs defense, which only gave up 17 points, right now is ranked lower than the Bears defense. They ranked 27th. They allowed 17 points. They gave up 41 rushing yards, but they gave up a ton of passing yards. They gave up 328 passing yards. Okay, let's move from there. So, I mean, what do we make of that? I mean,
I look at
Cohesion.
It's misleading. It's misleading.
I look at the Bucs like they are bend but don't break defense. So it's like you can get down to the red zone, but we gonna only allow you to kick field goals. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Todd Bowles, old school coach. He's, supposedly has a defensive mind, but he's a bend but don't break guy. You got that type of talent on defense, and then you got to look. The Vikings are a bad luck team. They don't have a running back. Madison, they put all the keys in his cards, and that's trash. They should have kept Dalvin Cook. But then they're just a pass-happy team. We saw that last night against Philly.
And they were just
pass-happy team.
They were
it's like, of course, if you throw the ball 50 times, and you got Jefferson on one side, Addison and KJ Osborne on the other, then you're gonna throw 300 yards. You know what I'm saying? But can you score?
Yeah, but they were a victim of circumcision the other day because they were four. They had like four turnovers. They had like 4 turnovers. I'm just saying. But Ramon, you are 1,000,000,000% correct, man. You know what? I think what happens is people say, "Oh yeah, y'all talk about numbers and you don't." It's on a per thing basis. Like for example, with Tampa Bay. I mean, if you winning, it's like I don't care how you win, but they're playing Mr. Magoo ball. It's like they're not playing lights out. They just happen to be doing some stuff at the right time, and stuff just happen to fall on their lap. Now, what happens is you take teams like I'll give you another case in point. The Eagles. The Eagles are playing like trash, but they 2-0, and it's no disrespect to them either, but that's just how it goes. But the reason why teams like the Eagles win those type of games, they'll screw up and make some stupid mistakes, but in them like very clutch situations, like, okay, we on this side, we on their side of the hash mark. Yeah. You start seeing their problems condense. Whereas teams like the Bears, their problems go like this. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah. Right. So can we, when we putting together a game plan to beat the Bucs, it looked like you could pass on the Bucs. Maybe you have some difficult run, but I don't know which one is our strength this year. It's supposed to be run. So how do we approach them offensively?
We can run on the Bucs. It's just the Vikings don't have a running back. Okay. We got three running backs, bro. That's what should be our key focus, man. Run the ball, play action, take some shots down the field. Stop dumping it off to the running backs. Stop throwing these little short passes. Right, okay, we know you know how to do that this year. But trick them. When they play up, throw deep. You got DJ Moore on your team, man. The dude is athletic, and you don't want to piss him off eventually. Right now, he's quiet. But, dude, throw the ball to him. If it's one-on-one, throw it to him, man. Cole Kmet, throw it to him. Like, do something, man. But I say live by the run first. We got 3 running backs.
Absolutely.
Live by the run first.
Yep. That's action. My thing.
You can. I agree, but you know what?
Second half.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Switch it up. Second half, switch it up. Live by the pass.
We got to say Deontay Foreman's name. We got to say his name. And Rashawn Johnson. You talked about these running backs. Yeah. They got some dogs, man. They got some real dogs at running back.
Y'all gonna laugh at me when I say this, but I'm gonna tell you the one thing that they need to do that's more important than anything else. That very first play we get, like we bring it out the end zone and they kick it off to us, we get to the 25-yard line. First pass is a heat check. Throw that joker 30 yards. Now what happens? You got guys thinking, because what happens is this. If I'm running a dink and dunk 5-7-yard plays, what happens is now you got linebackers, like I was saying before, when you do a play action pass, your linebackers, the guys supposed to freeze. When you do a play action, the dudes keep going this way. Now you got 2 to 3 extra defenders on the line to stop the run and stop the short stuff. If that very first play you throw, just a heat check for 30 yards, now you're putting some in their head to give you a little time. But if they run it on the very first play, then they throw that little bubble screen or that jet sweep on the next one, you're going to start seeing linebackers take a couple steps up out their guard. You're going to see the corners stick their guys, but you're going to see the safeties come in, and the field going to be about this big.
Hey, Jay, you don't know how to get about Eric down here, Jay.
Say it again.
What do you think about this comment by Eric down here?
I kept telling everybody that if Justin did throw the ball quickly, he caught. Come on, man.
Ball out quickly.
Dismiss that. No comment. I ain't even comment on that. Guy, you don't know how many times I've said the Bears come out, the first play, go deep.
Where you think I got it from? Where you think I got it from?
I'll never forget. I remember when Terrell Owens got traded to the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And they played their first game on Monday night. I'll never forget this. The first play on offense, they came out and they threw it deep to Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
He caught the ball, ran it in for a touchdown, and did like this.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Yep. That's what you do. You establish an identity. Yep. And with DJ Moore, what he did on that first play in the preseason, the first thing I said when the Bears got the ball offense, I'm like, chunk it deep to DJ Moore right now. Whether it's a completion,
whether he makes it or not,
an interception, whether it's a reception,
do it.
Establish that to let the defense know, okay, guess
they're doing this.
You know
they throwing the ball to DJ Moore.
Even if you go into max protection and just send a 1 route or 2 route, just to send that message.
And even if you get picked off, because guess what? What we've shown the last year or two is we can run that doggone ball. So if I do a heat check and throw the first one, that next play, the defensive line gonna be like, man, the linebackers gonna be honest, the corners and the safeties gonna play honest. Now you got them on their toes. Now you totally change the complexion of their defense. And if he connects on that pass, man, Justin Fields will probably have 100 yards rushing, about 3 yards.
Just real quick. I want to say, Eric, I ain't trying to diss you, bro, but I ain't even trying to talk about the Tyler Bajan thing right now. That to me, that's irrelevant. To me, that's irrelevant, which is why I said dismiss the comment, because I don't even want to talk about that, because it's irrelevant right now. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, Mo.
I agree with everything y'all said, man. Boost Justin Fields' confidence up, man, because if you think about it, all throughout his whole young career, as far as high school and college, he was throwing the ball deep. He was throwing the ball real deep.
Deep.
Very accurate, bro. He didn't even use his legs really at Ohio State, at that horrible school. You know,
cut it out.
Go Blue.
But
he
did.
Hey, but I will say I agree with everything you said. The Bears need to establish the run. Stick with it. You know, Herbert only had about 9 carries. You gotta have more carries than that. Bro. You went into halftime, and this game actually was 7-6 until the last 30 seconds, I think, right before halftime.
Right. Then it was 10-6. Yeah, 10-6.
10-6, right? Yeah. But they had not established the run. I mean, it was like
they hadn't established anything.
It's like they was using these check downs as extensions of the run game or something.
Guess what Green Bay did? They established the run. They said, forget it. We're going to give the ball to Aaron Jones, and we just going to let him go crazy. Because
what I don't understand is, how did the defense hang their hat on the fact that they stopped the run or they negated the run? I'm like, wait a minute. Aaron Brooks pulled a hamstring. If he had actually played all 4 quarters, man, he would have had way over 100 yards.
Yeah, he probably had 200 yards, man.
You know what? But here's another thing. I was kind of joking, but serious when I was talking about, Luke Getsy got fired and replaced with Bobby Boucher's coach. It was a joke, but it was serious, because if y'all watch The Water Boy, you notice, because he was real scared, and then he told him, and Bobby Boucher told him, said, you know what, just take it easy and just think of pleasant stuff. And he started thinking that baby. All of a sudden, that old playbook he had, he was like, yeah, scratch this. This is what we gonna do. He totally opened up the playbook and changed everything. All Getsy's got to do is this. You know what? You're going to throw interceptions if you're thinking about it. But you know what? You can't be mad at a guy for taking an attempt. The one thing I loved about Jay Cutler, the way he did Mike Morris was doing that run and shoot short stuff and that yards after carry stuff.
And he said, screw like, that.
This ain't working. But guess what happened?
Screw Mike Morris.
Yeah, but when he started throwing the ball, you start seeing that Marshall and them was getting like 30, 40-yard bombs, or they was getting like 15-yard catches with like 10-yard yaks. totally changed the complexion of everything. Defenses right now are basically like this. They sitting up on the line of scrimmage like, y'all ain't gonna never get no play more than the 7 to 9 yards, so we gonna stay here. If you got some safeties on their toes worrying about somebody going deep, and guys like Komet coming 10 yards in, now you open it up and now you forcing they front guys, they front four, whatever it is, to be dogs. Now it plays to our advantage because guess what? The next play, y'all know we led the league as far as running is concerned. Now we run it down your throat, and then as soon as you think we got the running thing, like wearing it out, it comes another 10-yard pass. And
I just want to see this game. I just want to see some cohesion. Y'all know me. I've been saying that ever since we had the show.
Yeah,
I want to see plays married to each other.
Yep.
Where is the marriage in the offense? You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to see. I want to see plays married to each other. And so far, going back to last season, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you know, looking at this offense, what I really would love to see is Justin Fields, the player, take his own training wheels off. Yeah, you know, when you're trying to learn a bike, ride a bike, right? It's somebody, you know, you got the training wheels, there's somebody behind you, they may take it off for you, and they holding the seat while you do. Guess what? Sometimes you just got to take those training wheels off yourself. And go ahead, and sometimes you learn faster.
Well, let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Let's be real. We already had one fan call for Tyson Bagent, right? We already had somebody already made a comment, right? Okay, we're not listening to that. But on the real deal, though, like honestly, it's time for Justin to just walk into the coach's office or walk into the owner's office, somebody's office, and just say, "Hey, look here. I know this is my prove it or I'm out of here a year. This is it. I got to show y'all. Otherwise, y'all gonna go another direction because you didn't draft me, so you don't owe me anything. But if you allow me to just go ahead and do my thing and be me, then we might win some games. And that's where we are with this. And they got nothing to lose. They weren't expected to go to the playoffs anyway. So you might as well try to develop and take another step. And the way to do that is to let Justin throw deep, let him run, let him do him, and just try to build the offense and everybody just kind of work with him. And that's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else to say because nobody else is ready to come in and even give us a chance to win. Nathan Peterman, Tyson Bagent, nobody. It's just
that's why I say
we
got
got.
to take his own training wheels off because he's still staring people down and he's hesitant. It's something inside that's making him hesitant to, like Jay was saying, he's taking the check down and there's somebody in front of him. Like I even made the comment in the post-game show on that play where he fumbled. It was actually two guys in front of him open and he was looking at them and it was like, he was like, no, dude, throw the ball. They right
shell shock.
It was right. But you know
it's like he doesn't trust what he sees. He doesn't trust what he sees.
That's why he has to take, it has to come within him.
You know,
sometimes you don't have no blocking. The quarterback has to adjust and throw the ball quicker. Sometimes it's
as a quarterback, when you don't trust what you see, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, it does.
It is a problem. It's a problem now. It's a problem now.
But I'm gonna tell you, when you're a quarterback and you don't trust what you see, and other people see it, as we analyze and look at it, we like, okay, wait a minute. Why you didn't pull the trigger right here? I didn't trust this. Okay, you didn't trust this. So now you're not trusting your wide receiver. You're not trusting the system. That could be that's a real problem. That's a real problem.
You know what?
Here's another thing. It's this.
To piggyback off of what y'all was saying as far as the training wheels, he did have a play where he called an audible, and he sent the running back on the right side and to block because he saw the blitz coming. So it was like, and then he made the right pass.
Right.
And then another thing too, if you notice, the Bears, what they should have done, meaning as offensive coordinators or whatever like that, they should have called Ohio State and took some pages out of their playbook because that's what the Bengals did with Burrow. Once Burrow got chased to come in with him, it's like, okay, we're going to run whatever they call, and we're going to call it red over here. We're going to call it Bengal 7 or whatever it is. So it's like you need to learn, you need to get him comfortable by doing his old plays and just groom him by spoon feeding him some of your plays. That way he can adjust to the league instead of, all right, here's a new playbook. You know what I'm saying? And this is my first time calling plays too. So,
well, what do y'all think, man? Chico Rivera did with Cam Newton? That's exactly what Chico did. As soon as they drafted Cam, they looked at Auburn's offense, and that's what Cam was running when he came into the NFL.
Let's look at this. Let's look at, you know what? Being a psych minded here, when you was a kid, if you was one of them kids that sucked your thumbs or bit your fingernails, what your grandmama and them do? Put some hot sauce on your fingers. I'm going to tell y'all, man, you know what? And this is not no type of excuse to making excuses for Justin Fields. But if I drop back and 70, 80% of the time, by the time I get the football within a second, it's a guy right there. On the times that I drop back and I get coverage, he ain't thinking about, oh, I'm open. And a lot of guys freak out. Like with Favre probably hit him a shot or two after the game, like, I'm going to get hit anyway. So his mindset, if you look at that game that the Jets versus the Bills, all the times that Josh Allen threw picks was when they had pressure. But their offensive line came through. The unfortunate part, just like Jay even mentioned, and I couldn't agree with you more, when your offensive line in the preseason doesn't at least play at least a majority, a nice chunk of some series together to get that cohesion, when you come into the game, you ain't going against no third, fourth string guys. You going against some dogs, and that stuff you was able to do, you can't do it. So now you got a guy who's an all-star guy. I'm going to give a perfect case in point. Now, when I was talking about the wheel route and stuff, the way the wheel route would work perfectly if our offensive line is blocking good, because guess what? Now you got a running back coming out. You got an extra guy sitting there in the pocket with nobody because your receiver's out there. But if I snap the ball and you get Kmet, his job is to just kind of block a guy and come out, but then he misses this guy over here.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, let's move over to the injury report so we could kind of get to the predictions. Hey, did we have any changes? Because I did this actually yesterday.
No changes.
No changes. That's it. That's no changes.
Okay. So we got a couple of players out on the Bears.
Rest. That's another thing I'm saying, man. Because I'm telling you, y'all ever looking like some of these NFL films and you start looking at these guys once they retired? They done played like 30 snaps with a broken fibula and stuff like that, and they wasn't even getting paid that much.
But I understand now it's a business, Lewis, though, man.
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis is about 45 years old, though, right?
No, Mercedes Lewis is a busted Ford. That's what he is.
He there for counseling. That's all, man. He there to
man. He's a good locker room guy, man.
What up, Decay? What's up, Rex?
Hey, somebody put it up there. They said 35 presses and 4 sacks. 35 presses in a game. Mike Day, 35 presses, 4 sacks. He has to run his own plays. Now, 35 presses. How many attempts did he have? Justin Fields had the most attempts in this game against Green Bay than he had all season last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's when he should have actually used his legs a little bit.
That's a telling story.
Look, my guy who people been dogging me out for having on there, Tony Wells. Tony Wells like playfully trolls, but Tony put something up there. And he was talking about the 53% of why, as they were 53% of the times he wasn't pressured, but there were 3 drops. You take them 3 drops, he's up to 80-something%. Now the point is, what's happening is the percentage for him in completions and stuff like that isn't the problem. The problem is he'll get like 86% completions and like 110 yards. My thing is, take about 3 or 4 of them jokers and take a heat check and just let it go.
You know what?
Speaking of drops, though, can we make Claypool a healthy scratch? Can we make Claypool a healthy scratch, though?
No.
Chase Whirlpool, we need him, man. We need him.
Nope.
We need him.
It ain't the fact that we need him. It ain't the fact that we need him. We need to get him involved. We need to get him involved. It ain't the fact that we don't need him. We need to get him involved.
He got some OCD going on.
Man, look,
he doesn't want to play football to me, bro. He doesn't want to be out there.
Don't tell me you believe in Chase Claypool.
It's not
No, but he got some diva in
it's
him. He got some diva in him. You ever see guys like that? Like Jay saying, he got diva in him. When he ain't getting the ball, he like this.
When you a diva, that means you established yourself as something. T.O. was a diva. He established himself.
Yeah, but he was a one too.
Yesterday,
he was a WR1 though too.
But listen, it don't matter. Right? That's another reason why you shouldn't be a diva. You ain't the man. You're not the man to be a diva.
I can't even disagree with you on that, Mo, man. I can't even guys
like Chase. Let's move back to the point.
Go ahead.
Hey, so y'all ready for y'all predictions yet?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. So before we get that, let's get to the game of the week real quick. Y'all got any matchups y'all like? We got Green Bay, Atlanta.
I did have one.
I got Baltimore, Cincinnati, man.
Baltimore, Cincinnati. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what Lamar Jackson does. You know what I'm saying? Like, will he get his feet back wet?
I want to see the Jets in Dallas. I want to see how bad the Jets are, or are they going to play like Super Bowl ball and come in and beat some guys? But I want to see if Dallas is really as good as they really look like they were against the Giants. I would really like to see what happens in that game.
I want to see that. My game of the week is that Seattle at Detroit. Is Detroit for real? Okay. Is Detroit for real, or is Seattle as bad as they played last week against the Rams?
Okay.
Well, my game is the Browns versus the Steelers. I really want to see Deshaun Watson get his career back. I really want him to get back on track, and I want to see are the Steelers any better than they were last year?
Last week against
yeah, I'm sorry. Are they any better? Because they look like trash against the 49ers. So
they stunk up Detroit. They stunk up Detroit last week.
Has Kenny Pickett taken another step? Has he taken another step? I want to see if he's developing as a quarterback. So
Rams and 49ers.
My game of the week is Miami, New England.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. That's a good one.
Interesting.
Okay. Hey, so let's start here. Give me your pick
prediction,
and then give me what you think the Bears season gonna look like.
Ooh,
that's right because we didn't do that's right because we didn't do season predictions last week.
Yeah. Now everybody on the panel was 0-1, so I didn't have to.
Everybody, right. Everybody 0-1,
so I ain't got nothing to lose then, huh?
Right.
I go first, so y'all can dog me out first. I got 20 Bears, and I think the Bears are gonna go 7-10 this year.
7-10. Who you got? What's the game?
I got the Bears 23, Tampa Bay 20. Make that 21. I'm sorry, 23-21. I like that number too because I can do this.
Who's
and I got to go 7-10.
Who's next?
I'll go next. I got the Bears. 25-23. I got them on a crazy score. And then I got the Bears record. I got them going 8-9.
8-9?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the offenses are gonna take off a little bit, only because I think Justin is just gonna say he doesn't care anymore. He's gonna stop listening to Gassie's play calls and just do what he wants. I mean, because he has nothing to lose. So I'm gonna say the Bears are gonna put up 30, because I think it's gonna come down to a kick. I think Kyra Sanchez. I said Kyra was gonna be the MVP of the team, and I feel that way because I think we're gonna be kicking a lot of field goals this year. So I got Cairo winning the game at 30, and let's say Tampa Bay scores 27. 30-27. As far as the season, I said 8-9 if they were healthy, 9-8 if they get lucky. But at this point, with the way that the team really hasn't developed, I don't see the development yet. I'm going to go backwards now, and I'm going to say I got them. I got them for 6 wins and 11 losses.
He going moonwalking.
Okay. I have Buccaneers winning 24-14. And I'm gonna stick with my prediction of the Bears are going to go 9-8. I still believe they're going to go 9-8.
I can't even boo you this week.
They're gonna have a win.
We booed Jay when he had Green Bay. I can't even boo you, man. I ain't even got the energy, man.
Hello, we got one for AJ before you go. We got Mark Plummer got the Bears winning 20. I'm sorry, Plummer. Mark Chin.
Mark 10.
Got him going 27
20.
20, 9-8. We got Remo. Remo. He has the Bears going 7-10, and Remo has the Bears winning 20. Is that 27-24.
Yeah.
All right, Jay got to go. Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead, Jay.
I got the Bears losing actually. Tampa Bay 27, Bears 17.
Okay.
And I got their record right now at 6-11.
Okay, we agree. Okay.
So we have Jay and myself going against the grain of the Bears losing. We have Mo, Guy, and Tim all got the Bears winning. Jay and Tim agree on 6-11 for the season. You got Guy got them 7-10 for the season. I got them 9-8. Tim went 6-11. I already said that. And Mo, what you at 9-8?
No, 8-9.
8-9. Okay. Oh, I got Mark Chin. Got 9-8. Okay.
The bottom line is, I'm not going to pick the Bears again until they win a game. I can't. I can't because, like I said, this version of the 2023 Bears look like the 2022.
Well, let's say this: if they don't win this game, you can forget it because they're definitely losing in Kansas City. They are definitely losing. So. They have to win this. This is a must-win.
Like I said,
in the second week, that is so crazy to even say that, man. This is a must-win in the second week of NFL season.
And not only that, you on the road, you in the heat. That's all I can say.
I can't pick them.
It's gonna be hot in Tampa this week. I
can't pick them, Jay, until they win a game. We got Mike Data got them 23-17. Hey, Eric agrees with you, Jay. It's a must win.
And if they lose, you know what? What needs to happen instead of that, what had happened was some folks need to lose their job and some players need to sit their behinds down as scratches.
Hey, healthy scratch. Belichick does it all the time, and it works.
And Belichick got how many Super Bowls now? So he's
a whole lot of them.
A whole lot of them. Belichick had Brady.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing.
But you can't be mad at him for that, though, Mo. You can't be mad at him for having Tom Brady.
I'm not. But you ever notice something, though? You ever notice something? Every year that New England won a Super Bowl, their defense kind of sort of went down. But every year, their offensive line was like you could drive a truck through that damn line. They wasn't getting through.
They had hogs. But, I mean, of course, Brady, you know, him being from Michigan and all, of course he was going to win.
Cut it out.
But we starting to see what
Doug Woodson, baby,
bringing out is the product that Ohio State is putting out here, man. I hope Justin Fields proved me wrong. Like, come on, man.
I'm gonna make another prediction. Colorado gonna put up 50 points this weekend.
They might put up 60
against Colorado State. Of course they are. They're not playing nobody. They're playing Little Sisters of the Poor. And they're not playing nobody.
You gave them credit. I thought they was just playing like the little men on the little board, them little action figures.
But you know what? I don't know why. I don't know why these coaches
keep talking.
As I say, poking the bear.
Bro.
You know, this Colorado State coach came out and said what he said about, you know, my mama told me that
that's hype. That's hype. His players can't back it up. Colorado State players can't back that up. They can't back it up.
What are you gonna say when your team that gave up a half 100? I mean, what can you say? It don't matter. It's like, look, your mama. You don't get beat anyway.
But I'm just like, why they continue to poke the bear? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. But
right now, y'all on the real, Shedeur Sanders for the Heisman. Shedeur Sanders for the Heisman, bro. 1,000 yards in 2 games. Yeah, that's real.
That's
real.
The problem is this. Here's the problem with Shedeur Sanders. So many people stop looking at him and they keep looking at him as Deion's kid. If y'all ever look at this dude, his technique is perfect. His gap presence is off the chain. His vision, dude, I'm telling you, people keep looking at Deion Sanders and they don't look at this kid. This kid is one of the best quarterbacks in college that I've seen in a long time.
Top five right now in the nation.
He is amazing, man.
Top five.
Honestly speaking, I got him at the 4th best college quarterback right now. 4th best.
Moving up.
I got
with a bullet. With a bullet. Four with a bullet.
When they
Four with a
play
bullet.
USC,
that's gonna tell that.
That's a good showdown. Not that, the biggest stage ever.
Even if they lose, if he outperformed that kid from USC,
Caleb
that
Williams.
right there proved. If he outperformed Caleb Williams, I got him at number 1. I got him leapfrogging my boy JJ, and I got him leapfrogging Drake from UNC.
I tell you what, if he play a senior year at the University of Colorado, he don't get hurt. He's gonna be top 20 easy. If he stay, he'll probably be the number 1 pick.
He's gonna be number 1 pick.
If he stays, he'll be the number 1 pick. If they beat USC, if they beat them, man, you have to look at Colorado as a real contender, man, in the playoffs. They as a real contender. Now I don't know if they're ready for Georgia. I don't know if they're ready for that. But Colorado, man, if they get out of the Pac-10, if they get out of the Pac-10, they are a real contender, man, in the play.
Hey, I want to make one real quick Bears analogy, real quick.
To another position.
Hey, I want to make one real quick Fields analogy. Where I'm gonna tell you, if I'm Justin Fields, you know what I would do? I would go back and watch Michael Vick's tapes. Michael Vick didn't even study a playbook, but Michael Vick went 1, 2, 3. Nobody's there. I'm gone. 1, 2, 3. He was like that guy. Michael Vick is what I would like to see Justin Fields become, because Michael Vick's whole thing was like, I ain't scared to throw a pick. I ain't scared to make a mistake. The thing was, even when he played bad, his whole thing was like, okay, if I see somebody right there and I got a guy that's even this close, if I know I can't sling it past him, I'm gone. I'd like to see Justin Fields study Michael Vick and see how he plays. And I will guarantee you, if he watched this tape and he get out here,
words about Justin Fields.
Everything.
2 words about Justin Fields that'll help him tremendously. Internal clock. It has to speed up. His internal clock has to speed up.
Yeah.
It has to
speed up. That comes from coaching. You need the right coach.
Right. Or being a narcissist.
Guys, I gotta get out of here.
Yep. Okay. Hey, anybody else got anything? We about to close out. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Tune us in on Sunday, 30 minutes after the game, approximately about 3:30 on YouTube and Facebook. And note, on Sunday, we only gonna be on Facebook for maybe 10 minutes, other than the Bears Banner group. After that, we're gonna go off Facebook, and you're gonna have to watch on YouTube. All right. Peace.
Better.
Move to the bros.
Right.